Here is part 1 of the 20 statistics you should know in your business. Hey guys, Abby Johnson here with Matterhorn Business Development. If you have been around our channel at all, you know we love statistics and numbers and tracking all the good things in your business so you know how to make good decisions and good moves. So today we are partnering with our channel sponsor MetaPulse to go over the 20 statistics every business owner should know. So today I'm just going to be doing the first 9 and then stay tuned or watch part 2 if it's already been released with Neil, and he's going to do the second half, 11 more statistics that you should know. This comes from a MetaPulse blog post with 20 stats that you should know, and we of course agree with this. We love MetaPulse. We send all of our clients that way for everything that they need to monitor their growth and know what kind of moves they need to be making in their business. So statistic number 1 is very important. It is income. Income can be a tricky thing and people can use this word differently, but what we're talking about here is cash in the bank. You'll see with these next couple stats, I'm going to talk about how this can vary. But for income, we're talking about total number of money that was actually collected and banked for the week. Statistic number 2 is the dollar amount of sales for the week. So this could vary for your industry. Maybe when you make a sale, you're selling a $10,000 job, but you're only collecting $2,000 deposit for that job. So that's where income and sales can vary. So for this statistic, we want to talk about actual sales. What was the contracted amount? What was the agreed upon amount for the total for the job? For some industries, this may be one for one the same, where when you make a sale, it's immediately collected in full. But for those industries where maybe you're working in deposits or payment plans, this is where sales and income can vary. All right, stat number 3 is number of sales for the week. So maybe your income was $20,000, but that was only one sale. Now that's great that you made $20,000, but maybe you want to see that money come in across multiple people because then you're kind of working with more than one person. If your income and your money and sales are all dependent on one job, that's a kind of scary place to be. So your income can look really good, but if you're only servicing one person, unless you're in a super, super, super high-end expensive category of business, you want to be working with just more than one person. Stat number 4 is total cash on hand. So this is how much money is actually in the bank. This is pretty self-explanatory, but again, it's great to be looking at this every single week. I know a lot of people aren't looking at their bank account that often. Money kind of comes in and goes out. That's where Profit First comes in. I'm a Profit First professional. That aside, it's good to know where you stand every week because maybe you just made a big sale at the beginning of the week and then all of a sudden all that money is already gone. So maybe you made $20,000, but you only have $2,000 in the bank. Stat number 5 is total bills due. So again, pretty self-explanatory. How much bills do you need to be paying in this next period? I know in today's day and age when we have a lot of subscriptions and auto pays happening, I like to keep track personally of when those things come out of my bank account and I include them in this statistic so I know, all right, in this next week, this is how much money I have going out. Number 6 is the dollar amount of services or product delivered. So it's great if you are selling $20,000 or selling however many dollars of items or services, but if your delivery department isn't actually delivering it, then there's a problem, right? So this is where you track the dollar amount of what was sold. So for products, this is pretty easy. If you sold $10,000 of widgets and you delivered $10,000 of widgets in that week, it's pretty self-explanatory. For service industries, this is also important though. If you are in consulting or even things like graphic design or any sort of professional service, you still want to know how much were you delivering that week to your client base. This can vary for your industry. This is one of those things that I am normally talking out with people within our program, Adventure to Profit, which you can check out below if you need help implementing any of these statistics. But this is one that can vary per person, per industry, and you might need to adjust for yourself. But no matter what, it is very important to be monitoring this. All right, 7 piggybacks off of that, and it's the number of services or product delivered. So again, maybe you sold 500 widgets and you delivered 500 widgets. This is a great way to see if there are holes in places. So you sold 500 widgets, but only 200 went out. Why is that? So it's good to be looking at that. Same with if you're a service, maybe you only delivered 5 consultations this weekend when normally you're doing 15 or 20. So what happened? Why did that number of things that you delivered, whether it's a product or service, go down? That's why this one is an important one. Number 8's pretty simple, number of staff. Even if you're a small business, this is a great thing to be monitoring. Even if you only have 5 staff, if you keep a history of this, it's really cool to see in the future how you can compare this graph to your other graphs and statistics. So let's say you had 5 staff and then slowly that went up to 6 and 7 and 8 and so on. And then you can compare that to income or the dollar amount of services delivered and see how the positive impact of adding people to your team, what impact that has had on the rest of your business. All right, number 9 is not a fun one, but it is an important one, and that is number of client complaints. This would be what we call an upside down graph. This is something you can do in MetaPulse where you don't want this number rising, right? You want this to be as close to 0 as possible. So in most graphs, 0 is obviously going to be at the bottom, and the higher the number goes, it goes up the graph. This you want going down. So 0 is at the top of the graphs in this scenario. So you want to have 0 complaints, which means your graph line is going up. That's a good thing. It can be a little bit tricky, but MetaPulse makes it really easy to do this in their program. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory that we don't want complaints, right? So this is a great thing to monitor, especially if you have a team and you aren't working directly with your customers or clients. You want to be able to track your happiness of your customer base, and this is one of those things you can do to do that. All right, so those were the first 9 of the 20 statistics that every business owner should know. Make sure you go check out part number 2, which is coming your way. Once it's posted, we will have that linked here for you. And if you need help implementing this in your business, make sure you check out adventuretoprofit.com. That's where you can work with me personally to grow your business and become more profitable. And implementing these statistics is a big part of that and part of that program. And of course, please check out our sponsors, metapulse.com. That's who we work with to monitor growth across all of our clients. And I would not be here promoting or talking about them if I did not actually believe in their product. They are really good at what they do over there. So go check it out. And of course, please subscribe, leave a comment. We really want to hear from you guys and how this video may have helped you, or maybe it didn't help you. You tell us about that too sometimes, and that's fine. Anyways, I will see you next time.